What's going on, everyone? Welcome along to Arsenal Fan TV, and the game has just finished. Sunderland 0, Arsenal 2, and I'm not really too sure how I'm meant to be feeling after this game. Of course, I'm really relieved that we got the win. We got the 3 points. It's put us a bit higher in the table. But then again, the performance I felt was far from convincing. I felt we could have done an awful lot better. We had a lot of chances to score in this game, and we didn't take them. And maybe if it wasn't for two very lacklustre pieces of defending from Sunderland, maybe we wouldn't be coming away with this victory. But looking at the positive, 3 points on the board, we can push on from here, 2 wins in a row, and we go into the game against Burnley, hopefully where we can continue to build this momentum that we're sustaining at this moment in time. Looking at the team that started the game, I was actually really surprised with the lineup. First of all, in the defensive department, we saw Monreal start today at centre-back. I actually thought he had a really good game, one of the standout players in this one. And in all fairness to him, I thought he much improved from that game against Anderlecht in midweek. But if it was still me, I'd have started Bellerin at right-back, Chambers alongside Mertesacker, because I still think Chambers' best performances this season have come when he's played in a more central role as opposed to right-back. I still think he played really well today, but I just think we looked a lot more balanced when Bellerin came on and Chambers reverted to the centre-back role. Of course, a big blow for us today is as well that Kieran Gibbs went off injured. When is he actually going to gain some consistency and have a good run of games for us? For him to be injured again is really frustrating. I don't know how long he's out for. It might only be a niggle, but it's going to be really a real big blow to us, because then we're going to be very, very light on our feet in the defensive department if we weren't already. But looking at the other players that started the game, we saw an Arteta-Flamini partnership, which is something that we were kind of using as a last resort last season, especially in the FA Cup games. I remember we used it against Liverpool and we used it against Everton in the FA Cup, and it kind of worked for us, but it was something that we were kind of having to resort to due to injuries to the likes of Wilshere and Ramsey. I thought, you know, it was a partnership that I thought, it's a bit iffy, but I thought it did all right today. It certainly helps us gain some defensive stability in a sense. It protects the back four a lot better, but I still think Flamini is well below par. Arteta, I thought he had a decent game in fairness to him, but Flamini's someone I think we've got to drop at some point, continue to play Arteta alongside someone like Ramsey in that game. Another player that I thought was massively frustrating today was Santi Cazorla. He missed about 2 or 3 golden opportunities to lengthen the scoreline, and he just didn't take them, and his link-up play was pretty poor today. He looked very lacklustre. At times he looked a little bit disinterested, but you know, maybe it's just a matter of time of him. He's got to adjust back to that creative midfield role. I'm hoping we're going to see the best of him, but if it was me going into that game against Burnley, I'd actually like to see him dropped. I'd like to see Wilshere integrated into that number 10 role with 2 pacey wingers alongside him in Chamberlain and Sanchez. Chamberlain was another one that really wasn't on the ball today, and then have Ramsey and Arteta sitting behind and Ramsey occupying the box-to-box midfield role. I think that's something that could really work well for us. I think Jack's best performances this season have certainly come in that number 10 role. It's going to be a great driving force going forward, with Wilshere really integrating the players alongside him and then providing Danny Welbeck up top. It could be a really prosperous kind of formation. I'd love to see us do that at some point. But regarding the game today, the way it started off, I thought Arsenal looked very cagey at times. Sunderland obviously wanted to start this game well, which I think they did. They pushed us back into our own half, played some very good football, had a good couple of chances on goal, but nothing really penetrative. And I thought we looked a bit lacklustre, and I thought we looked a little bit rusty every time that they came at us, which is understandable considering how poor our defence was. And I'm glad we kept a clean sheet today. It's really massively important for me that we did that. It just shows that we're kind of building some stability in that area. But then again, when we're playing Monreal at centre-back, can you honestly say this team is going to push on for the title if we're having to resort to that? I still think we're very, very light in that area. Arsenal, on the other hand, though, they didn't particularly make too many chances of our own. I thought we were very inept going forward in the sense we were making some half chances, but nothing really too spectacular. But it was a great bit of work by Alexis Sanchez to get the ball off Wes Brown, run down to the other end of the pitch and do a lovely little chip over Vito Manoni to put us 1-0 up. And from there, we didn't really push on from that. And the second half was kind of more of the same. It was very lacklustre, very boring, a very sleepy performance in a sense, because we weren't really driving something. We weren't really looking for that second goal. We could quite easily have conceded. In that time between the 70th and 90th minute, Sunderland were really coming out as they were really pressing against us, and we could have conceded in that game. If we were playing someone with a decent strike force, I could quite easily have seen us conceding in that game, and thankfully we didn't, and we managed to round off the game with a lovely goal. Well, not a lovely goal, but a fairly fortunate goal from Alexis Sanchez. Poor from Vito Manoni. I wouldn't have expected this from him. Actually, saying that, after his performance against Southampton last week, maybe we should have seen this coming, but it was very poor by him, literally giving the ball to Alexis Sanchez on a plate, 2-0 up, game was won, and that was pretty much it from there. We've got the 3 points, we go into that game against Burnley, where I would expect better performance, certainly a better performance. I'm looking forward to see Jack Wilshere, that driving force, back in the team again. I think he's someone that we really missed today. Mesut Ozil, again, someone that we're missing game by game now, the conductor in midfield, the person that's pulling the strings for us, the puppeteer if you like. But I just think Cazorla really has to step into the plate at some point if he's going to continue to be played in this team in that preferred number 10 role, because he's got to live up to the expectations surrounding him. He can't just walk into this team and to assume because Ozil's injured, he's going to get a place in there. People like Jack Wilshere have got to fight for it. I'd like to see Wilshere occupy that space in that game against Burnley next week. Anyway, guys, I'm just relieved we've got the 3 points in this one. We can certainly push on from here, hopefully. Looking forward to that game against Burnley next week. If you've enjoyed the video, please give it a like, rating, subscribe to Arsenal Fan TV, check out my own channel, AFC Game by Game, and as always, thank you very much for watching, guys.